Hello students, today we will discuss about the effect of the First World War. So dear students, as we learned in our previous videos lectures that when the First World War happened, there was great losses which happens to Germany. Many countries, they began to blame Germany and they began to say that Germany is responsible for the great devastations which happens to all the European countries. So after the First World War, there was a peace treaty which was held at Versailles, and in that peace treaty, Germany had to give the compensations amount of 6 billion. So as we see that apart from this compensations amount, Germany had many great losses in the society. Germany who lost its territories, lost its populations, lost its natural resources, that is such as coal and iron, and lost its mighty power in the society. So as we see that the Imperial Germany who were involved in this First World War, but this Republic government who had to pay back all the guilt that has been made by the Imperial Germany during the First World War. So students, as we know that with this peace treaty, many peoples in Germany, they began to criticize the infant Weimar Republic, because it is the Weimar Republic who signed the treaty with the Allied powers and who paid the compensations which had happened to them during the time of First World War. So here these Weimar Republic who paid the compensations amount, and here the great devastations which happened to Germany. So at the initial period, Germany was having full of resources, it was fully developed, it was a country who gives credit to many countries during the financial crisis, but after the First World War, they turned into a creditors. So at the initial period, when the Germany was industrially, financially developed, they were the one who were giving creditors and credit to many continents. But after the First World War, when the devastations happens, they became the debtors. Their financial conditions was fully destroyed. They were no longer financially strong in the society. In order to run the systems in the society, they had to make credit in the society, because without making credit, they were not able to sustain their systems in the society. So that is the reasons what they do. In order to run the government, in order to run these nations, they had to take credit from others. But before the First World War, they were the ones who gives credit to many continents. But as we see that after the First World War, the dramatic changes which can be seen in Germany. So here, as we see that the Weimar Republic who paid the sins as well as the guilt of these Imperial Germany, because during the time of emperor, the kings, the First World War was happened. So here all the European countries, they thought that the war will continue only for a short period of time, but it was stretched on, it went on for long time, and when it went on for long time, many economical losses, many painful situations which happened during the First World War, and it created lot of devastations in the society. So here, who paid these losses amount? It is the Weimar Republic who came into effect after the abdications of the ruler. Because many people, they begin to criticize the rulers and they begin to blame that it is the ruler who was not able to sustain their powers, not able to control the situations. That is why a new system came into being, that is called the republic systems, the federal structures, and the birth of Weimar Republic was happened with these meeting at Weimar, the National Assembly. They started re-electing, they started the election process, and there was a parliamentary form of government. So here we see the republic system, or the Weimar Republic, who paid the losses which happened to many nations. So what we see here, that whatever national humiliations which was there in the society during that time, the new government called the Weimar Republic, who paid the losses to the Allied power. Because here Germany was having many losses after the First World War, because they wanted to prove their mighty power, they wanted to prove their power in the society, but the Allied power were strengthened by the US entry in 1917, who defeated Germany very badly, and after that many devastations which happens to Germany. We see all these economic devastations that happens to Germany, and who paid all these compensations which happens during the First World War? It is the new government called the Weimar Republic. So as we see that those peoples who supported the Weimar Republic, especially the socialist, the democratic leaders, all these peoples, they became the targets in the society. Why? Because peoples were not at all happy with the peace treaty which was made during the Weimar Republic. Because when the treaty was made, during that time many losses happened to Germany. The Germany who lost its territory, who lost its populations, lost the natural resources. So many peoples, they begin to criticize the Weimar Republic, or they criticize the republic systems by saying that they were not able to control the situations. So those peoples who supported these Weimar republics, they became the targets in the society. Peoples were criticizing them, peoples were saying bad about them, and this was the situations in Germany after the First World War. So here, the First World War, which created a deep imprint on European society, very different kind of situations which imprint in the society. So as we see that after the First World War, many peoples were given more importance to soldiers. The soldiers were placed above civilians, and the publics, the politicians, those peoples, they were encouraging peoples to be very strong. They were encouraging peoples to be very strong so that they would defend their nations, they would protect their nations. When there is a need, during that time, the strong peoples will come and they will defend their nations. That is why many peoples were encouraging peoples to be very strong in Germany. As we see and we understand that the trench life, which was given more important in Germany. So here, what the soldiers have to do, they have to live a very different life. They have to hide and they have to shoot the enemies who are coming to attack Germany. Just like a rat who is hiding. So here, the soldiers who are hiding, and they will be living in the trench which is created for the soldiers, and they will be protecting their nations. That means the enemies will not be coming directly and attacking them. That is why the trench life was given more importance. And those peoples who were protecting the nations, those peoples were given more importance. They were given honor in the society. They were given much more respect in the society. And this was the situations in Germany. But in this trench life, the soldier's life is very hard because it's very difficult to lead a very trench life, because soldiers had to go through a very hard life, a very painful life. Why they were having trench life? Because to protect the nations. That is why the trench life was given more important in the society. So dear students, as we see and understood that after the First World War, the effect was seen in Germany, and as we see and we understood that there was great losses, great devastations which happens to Germany after the First World War. So dear students, as I have been telling you that with this peace treaty at Versailles, many people they criticized this infant Weimar Republic, but the Weimar Republic who paid the compensations of the guilt that has been done by the emperor. Whatever the mistakes the emperor who did during his ruling period, the new system called the Weimar Republic who paid the compensations and who liberated Germany from this great disaster. So dear students, at the very initial period, many peoples, because of this peace treaty at Versailles, they do not like the new systems called the democratic systems. Why? Because due to this peace treaty, many people they criticize the Weimar Republic. That is why the democratic system, which was not going to be having stabilities in the society. So dear students, as we have discussed about the effects of the First World War on Germany, and we understood that the First World War that created great devastations to Germany. In the beginning or at the initial period, Germany was fully developed, having all kind of resources, having all kind of things, but after the First World War, they became the debtor. At the initial period, they were the creditor. They were giving credit to many peoples, but after the First World War, they become the debtors, and economically, financially, emotionally, they were having many problems in the society. So this is all about the effects of the First World War on Germany. Thank you so much for listening to me.